New information coming in today on a U.S. airstrike on a large bank belonging to ISIS in Mosul, Iraq. As this video showing the aftermath of a U.S. strike that took place last week on another building that was housing ISIS cash in that same country. Military officials say these two airstrikes alone have destroyed at least $135 million held by the terror group. Ben Collins is U.S. Army Special Forces veteran and a Green Beret who served 3 tours of duty in Afghanistan. Hi, Ben. Great to have you back. So Fox News is reporting through our folks down at the Pentagon that U.S. officials have said we are crushing, that's the word, ISIS as a result of these airstrikes. Your reaction?
Well, I don't even know what that means. What does that mean you're crushing ISIS? I mean, so far we still have 20 to 30,000 fighters that are ensconced into two major cities, Raqqa and Mosul. So Mosul in Iraq, Raqqa in Syria. They still have the black market and the gray market oil that they're using, that they're pushing through Turkey. They're still able to tax the people that live in these cities. So it's a good step. It's a good start. But, you know, we don't have a very good track record, I think, of following through on these type of successes, especially when they really start worrying about collateral damage.
So what do we need to do then?
Well, look, I mean, I think we need to separate kind of the battle and the aftermath, because I think this president has been pretty disingenuous in terms of tying the two together, saying that, you know, we don't really want to put American troops on the ground because we're afraid of what's going to happen after. I think that we do need to put American soldiers on the ground. We do need to help lead this effort. That doesn't mean that we have to be the ones that stay after this is done. Yeah. But cutting off their funding and actually taking the fight to the soldiers directly is necessary.
You know, that certainly has to help, though, taking out some of their access to money. It's not like these guys are sending their money home to mom, but there are reports that their fighters are, their pay is actually being scaled back.
Yeah, there is, but I mean, they're able to use fear. I mean, we saw in the aftermath of the Ramadi battle that they were executing soldiers for trying to run away. So ISIS rules on fear. They rule through fear of these dramatic executions of the people that they control, and they rule by fear to their soldiers.
I want to ask you about these 3 contractors who are being held, reportedly, at least Fox News is reporting, by an Iranian-backed militia in Iraq. If that is the case, and Secretary Kerry has bragged that we have these inroads with Iran right now that we certainly didn't have before the nuclear deal, do we have any leverage to try to do anything to get these guys back?
No, not really. And Tehran is essentially, or Baghdad is a proxy of Tehran, and it's kind of advantageous for them to say, well, we don't really control these militias. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you know, that's why we've been pushing to directly arm a lot of the Sunnis, you know, through money and through arms, because that stuff was flowing right through Baghdad, right into the hands of the militias. So it gives the Baghdad government some ability to say, well, look, these are the Shiite militias, and Iran says, look, these are the Shiite militias.
And this is the kind of thing that Iran does. I mean, after
Absolutely.
the U.S. hostages came home from Iran many years ago, they nabbed a bunch of Americans in Beirut. So I wonder if this is a sign of things to come with Iran.
I think so.
I want to ask you about another topic, and that is switching to Afghanistan, where you had served for the U.S. military in Afghanistan. There are now reports that the Helmand province, at least 3 key areas in Helmand province, are at risk of being overtaken by the Taliban. How significant would that be?
Well, significant. I mean, Helmand's always been an important factor, especially with the opium trade. So once again, going to finance.
So it means more cash for the Taliban if they can take over these places?
Absolutely. And we didn't give it enough time for them to gain effective control. I mean, real successful counterinsurgency operations take between, 15, 20, 25 years. You know, at our surge only lasted about 24 months. So the bottom line is we've pulled out of there way too soon and never gave the local government time to become effective. So right now the security forces that have already lost 13,000 in the last year and a half, we haven't given them a chance to actually do anything. So we're playing whack-a-mole. And so Helmand, in my opinion, if Helmand doesn't fall, someplace in the north will fall. If someplace in the north doesn't fall, Helmand's going to fall.
And this is a pretty rough area. Our viewers will recall about a week or so ago, we reported about that U.S. helicopter then going down, and our U.S. troops were on the ground, pinned down at least of sorts for some bit of time. They eventually made it out of them, at least most of them, but that was a really scary situation.
And we lost an American hero.
We certainly did. All right, Ben Collins, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.